Anyway, let's go to the next one. It's going to be lightweight. So yeah, 1-0 right now for the Toon Squads. They have a chance to bring it back to EK Gaming here, and I'm sure they will. They've sent out Cage tonight, who's going to pick lightweight ESFL debut for this man, and he's going up against a 2-0 Ozzy kid. Tough fight. Let's see what Cage has got.
All right. So, like you said, this is the ESFL debut for Cage right here, and then fight no slouch in Ozzy Kid, beat Bang Bang in week 2, beat MMA Genius in week 4. So Ozzy Kid is on a nice, impressive run this season. Cage coming out with this Dustin Poirier pickup, which is going to be a lot of problems, but this Nate Diaz pickup, I really like it here in the lightweight division, as whenever you take Nate Diaz down, he's going to be good in that full guard off of the back. We already know Nate Diaz has great boxing. Dustin Poirier coming with that speed and that power, definitely going to be needed, especially when you're making your ESFL debut. Bailey is always excited to see somebody take their first steps in the ESFL. What are they going to do here, Bailey, in round 1? Take it away.
Yeah, I think Ozzy, we've seen his Nate Diaz last time out, and he was very, very effective with it, getting a lot of love in the chat as well. Quick shout out to MMA Troll there for gifting some Twitch subs as well. Thank you very much, MMA Troll. Appreciate that and the support. Those guys who got them, I'm sure they're getting way less adverts as well for being sub now, so that's good as well. But here we go, Ozzy Kid already laying the hands go. We have muted this one, guys. They've got live mics, so we don't want any crossover, so no audio, unfortunately. But again, on the outside, this worked from Ozzy, and he really lets the hands go as well. It's never 1 or 2. He's always looking to throw multiple combinations. The slips are coming out, but will it be enough? There's a lot of pressure constantly, and I would love to see some calf kicks coming out, because Poirier's got such good calf kicks as well. Lead hook over and over again. The 2 to the body lands, comes back up top with a 3 as well. That's great work too. Ozzy Kid not letting up on the pressure for a second though, Boxer.
Yeah, Ozzy Kid really applying that pressure. I like the distance management from Cage, really showing a lot of poise in his ESFL debut. I like the level changes. I like he's doing work on the body already. We can see the damage visibly, against Ozzy Kid. But Ozzy Kid, like you said, Bailey, is really good, with this pickup. These fighters going back and forth. We got him even right now.
Yeah, good work there, though, by Caged on the inside, really making it work for him. Off the level changes, bangs out the turn inside kick. No leg kicks really at all. Not obviously part of the game plan tonight for Caged. And now Ozzy trying to get those interruptions with those stiff straight shots. The jab coming out, lead hook. He's banging that one out as well. And it's just so hard to really hurt Nate Diaz on the game. This is the thing. I mean, there's some nice slipped, crispy shots that have slipped through from Cage. But, I mean, Ozzy Kid looks like he's just started the first round. There's barely any damage on him. Oh, there's another 1, 2, 3. Now waiting on Cage to try and intercept, but got into the punch right there. Cage powered that one through as well. So they're both going tit for tat on techniques here. It's about that 2 of Nate. Rear uppercut on the break there. Nice work. And a 2. That's done some big damage, even though we can't see it, especially off that body shot. So great work by Ozzy, who's back on this pressure. Just straight boxing, though, still is Cage right here.
Yeah, the only thing we're seeing is boxing here. No big significant strikes that I can see that lead to any type of rock or so any significant damage so far. But, if you're going to do something to Nate Diaz pickup, you better do it early, because he gets stronger as the fight goes on with that higher altitude and marathoner perk and carve the wood. I mean, just all the perks that you want to survive. And that's what you have when you get this Nate Diaz pickup, and Ozzy Kid can play it so nicely. So if you're with this ESFL debut, right now, first round, very, very strong round, very safe round. And I think there's nothing wrong with that, especially when you're able to chunk off as much stamina as you've done to that Nate Diaz pickup. It's better than some of the other debuts that we've seen, and they come out and they just blow their stamina right away, and then they're already out of it in the second round. Not the case here for Cage, making a good case for himself and his name and why he deserves to be here in this second round, Bailey. What are you seeing right now? What does Cage have to do to maintain what he's built in the first round?
Well, we have seen Ozzy lose a fair bit of stamina at the end of that round, but it's basically all come back here as well.
Yeah.
And this is, I don't know if we can test the audio again just to see if those mics maybe got switched off in between rounds, but this has been a very high paced fight, Boxer. They've both just been slinging shots at each other non-stop. So someone probably will look to gas at some point, or at least the block might head down. But if you're caged, man, get back to the body, then come back up top to their head. We're tentatively putting the audio back on now. We should be good. And I would like to see some calf kicks, if only to set things up.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with Nate Diaz, not the the strongest in the leg department, but with this Dustin Poirier pickup, I forgot in between rounds he has recharge perk, so he's going to recover a lot. And there it is, Bailey, and a huge rock there coming out for the ESFL debut. Cage that has to feel good. But you got to be careful because we got that carved of wood perk from Nate Diaz. So this is when he gets stronger and as the fight goes on. So it's just going to be an uphill battle. But that's a good rock there from Cage, getting it done early in the second round with a huge rock.
Yeah, I mean, that's good work. Being a lot more patient as well. I feel like he's not just trying to force his way on the inside to land stuff for the sake of landing it and taking advantage of the speed of Poirier, mixing up the head movement, really finding a flow right now. Is caged, and Ozzy is just whiffing on everything. Can't find the timing, can't catch him. And when he does, it's generally bouncing off the block, mixing up the kicks now as well to get more space, close off the distance. Ozzy can circle out. That's lovely work from the teep. Ozzy's just letting the hands go right now, but the power of Poirier is going to show through on this block, on the head health, and his non-stop landing. Cage has got Super Saiyan here, Boxer.
Yeah, exactly. So you're talking about a 95 punch power from Dustin Poirier, and one thing I like about Cage, after he throws his combinations, he's good at doing some head movement, because so you can't just return fire because he's always moving his head, and he's actually mixing up his head movement. Sometimes it's a duck, sometimes it's a slip off to the right or the left, sometimes it's a pull. So Ozzy Kid has to try to get a beat on that and try to figure out what he's going to do when he moves his head. But also Cage is he's moving his head with the defensive sway. All right, so it may not be no offense coming out, but he's staying safe after the combination. It shows a lot of experience and great technique there. I like what I'm seeing from Cage.
Yeah, Ozzy is just second place in every exchange so far. I mean, Cage steps in, throws a combination, and then when Ozzy fires back, he just covers or slips everything, almost for like the second half of that round entirely there. Cage really found a flow around Ozzy's defense, who I think needs to take a breath and try and get back on the bike or find a different shot. If I was him, I'd stick to something simple, maybe Boxer, like a straight lead uppercut, just something with some stopping power that can interrupt an oncoming guy and then kind of branch out from there. But he was either trying to exchange at the same time or was just going second and getting stuck in that rhythm of always being second and just getting outstruck. So great second round for Cage, all to play for in this third. Don't forget, Toon Squad are up 1, so really right here, I believe, I'll just double check the teams here, blimey. Yeah, Caged is for EK, so Caged with Poirier needs to put him away if he wants to get the points for his team.
Okay, yeah, that's a good nuance. And so we can't see the recharge perk and exactly how much stamina Cage got back. But now that you're in the third round, you're going to consume less stamina with this Nate Diaz pickup. And so that's what you get with that marathoner or high altitude perk, which is taking effect now in the third round. But Cage doesn't care about any of that. And gets a huge rock there with a huge left hand, and he's kind of pouring on the pressure right now, and exactly what he should do, trying to get this knockout. I like that head movement, great head movement that I'm seeing from Cage. Nice teep, and look at there, he is able to beat Nate Diaz to the punch and getting another rock against the Cage Bailey. Just switching levels, going down low, going up high. What is he going to be able to get another knockdown in the third round? Cage seems like he is in control here, Bailey.
Oh yeah, 100%. Stepping through, landing big shots. Ozzy, he's 2-0 so far this season. He's not been beaten, and he's picked Diaz, I don't know, twice, but definitely once before. And he's kind of getting beaten at his own game a little bit here, because this has almost been a straight boxing fight. The teeps have really helped, but there's another jab to the body, jab to the head, level change, and then just ready to just cover up. And Ozzy has been on the back foot almost exclusively for the second half of this fight, which just means he's waited for the offense and then he's trying to fire back, but almost every time nothing lands. And then he goes again and it gets blocked. And then Cage comes back and he needs to go first. There it is with the two. Actually went first on a combination and timed it beautifully, rocked him. And now an onslaught there. Another two at the end, sticking him stiff. That's better from Ozzy. And now he's on his bike, moving forward. Let's see if he can put some pressure on, despite having lost so much head and body health already.
Yeah, even though Nate Diaz only has an 86 power, you got to watch out because those moves have high move levels and they still do a lot of damage with a 93 speed attached to that. But if he's going to get it done, he has to do it in a minute and 30 seconds. Has Cage done enough to already win this match? But if you're Ozzy Kid, I would think that you want to go for the knockout here. Not sure exactly what he has to do. But that's one thing he well-timed uppercut there. And I would expect that he's going to pull on the pressure. But here it is, the nice defensive sway there coming out by Cage. It gets a rock of his own Bailey and a huge body shot there for the KO. Cage coming out in his ESFL debut, just putting in work, putting people on notice, Bailey.
It was a lead hook, left hook to the body there. 1-2. It just put him out. Lead hook, boom, left hook. It looked like he was maybe swaying off a little bit to the outside as well, so that would have buffed up the damage on it. But there we go. Yeah, great performance by Cage. Wow. Struggled early, but he just took out a guy that's 2-0 this season, which is pretty damn good. I mean, this is high-level competition. Showed up, stayed composed, got his game plan working. It was kind of strange though, because Ozzy towards the end of that was picking things up, getting back on the forward pressure and having a lot of success. I don't know what the game plan was or if he changed the game plan, what happened, but almost after that first round, the fight kind of just started getting away from him and he couldn't bring it back. Might have just been that Cage had made all the adjustments he needed to make, started throwing those teeps and stuff, but really great performance for your ESFL debut, boxer.
Who's on my level? Never stop, I don't forget you. Man on my flow, so mental, I'm back on settle, got loads of potential, come hot like a kettle, your bro so dreadful, don't know misconstrue my child is respectful. Not a lot on my level, got lots of potential, no stop, I'ma chase it all.